Hello, this is David at Thera Wellness. One of the cool things that our Vitalyzer can do is spit out a nice list of foods that, should play nicely with your immune system and your gut, and also foods that you probably shouldn't have because they don't play nicely with your body. And so as a fun challenge, we thought it'd be a cool idea to challenge our users to cook a meal with as many things on the list as possible. So here's my list from a Vitalyzer scan the other day. And then we see the list here. And these are the rest of the foods to avoid and my notes. We're gonna get started. First, we're gonna start with beets, which are on the list, which I'm gonna roast with some, my Vitalyzer scan said that I should have pumpkin pretty highly. Just cleaning up these beets. Unfortunately, it is springtime where I'm at, and pumpkins are not in season. However, pumpkins are squash. And fun fact, the pumpkin puree you buy at the grocery store comes from squash. A certain kind of squash, not a pumpkin. So I'm just gonna use squash because that's what I can get. And I'm just gonna roast these, so nothing has to be super precise. My knife should probably be sharpened at some point when I remember to do that. And into my bowl. And this doesn't have to be perfect. Before I forget, because I always forget, these need to be roasted at 400 degrees. So I will go over to my oven, bake. Baking. I cannot be the only one who always forgets to set the oven. So we're just gonna keep dicing these beets and staining my cutting board. For you cutting board nerds, this is an end grain cutting board that I made myself some years ago. It is made from maple, cherry, and the really dark wood here is mesquite, which is a tree that grows in Texas, where I used to live, and the rest of the American Southwest, and nowhere else. And it is a wonderful wood to work with. It is very hard and pretty. And it's also great for smoking, which is where you may have heard of it. So this particular dish is not super low effort. I mean, you could do it for a weeknight if you were feeling particularly ambitious, but it does take a bit. I'm saving a bunch of time tonight because I prepped an ingredient part of it last night, because I was cooking something else that I thought would warrant it, and we'll get there when we get there. Okay. Beets are done, and then squash. This is a butternut squash. Acorn squash works well too. Most squash you can use interchangeably. Yes, I know I'm losing cooking points by buying something pre-peeled and already chopped in half, but I'm feeling lazy and I don't need a full butternut squash, so this is fine. It's okay to do the convenient thing sometimes and to pay a little extra for people to do stuff for you. This is not a competition to be the most hardcore home cook.
A few moments later.
And to those of you who don't believe me that squash or pumpkins are squash, try cutting open a pumpkin sometime. It will look a lot like this and smell a lot like this.
More moments later.
Vegetables are chopped. I think in addition to this, I will add a few cloves of garlic because I can. There are hacks and stuff to peel garlic. I just often don't because I just don't feel like it. And peeling garlic is not the end of the world. Okay. garlic press. I used to not like garlic presses, but then I learned how to clean them. Garlic, some olive oil. This isn't anything fancy. For cooking, you really do not need fancy olive oil. Some pepper. And then some kosher sea salts, which I really need to refill this thing. And just spread that out on this tray. And into the oven we go for 35 minutes. Pesto. This would be a good time to make it if you haven't made it already. This one I made yesterday. And since just tacking off things that are on the list. So this has spinach, which is on the list, pumpkin seeds, which is number 1 on the list, as you can see, walnuts, which is the last thing on the good foods list, olive oil, salt, pepper. I didn't have any lemons on hand, so I just used some fancy champagne vinegar I had lying around. And there you go, and garlic, and there you go, pesto. And I will see you in about 30 minutes when it's time to cook the fish. Hey, this is Later David. I forgot to mention a thing. Since Parmesan is on the list of... No, God! I use nutritional yeast instead, which vegans have been doing as long as I can remember. So there you go. If you want vegan pesto for whatever reason, nutritional yeast. It's time to cook the fish. This is just about a ½ pound of rainbow trout, which is, I don't know, about halfway down the list of good things. And again, we're going to season things simply because the pesto is going to do the work for us. This is my kosher salt, and as you can see, I have refilled it since you last saw me. A little salt, nothing too crazy here. And then some pepper. I try not to block the camera with my hands. And then I also like to just salt the fish, and a trick I do to keep my surfaces fish free is just use the paper towel. And just a little salt on this side. Then I just bring the fish over to my cast iron, which I have been preheating. It's not quite there yet, but it's getting close. It is really hot because it's a thin fish and it will cook quickly. Just a little bit of olive oil. That's what you may have heard. You can use olive oil for high heat applications. You have to really try to get olive oil to a temperature where it's putting off dangerous fumes. And because my vent fan sucks, it's going to get a little smoky. Put it in. Let me give this about, I don't know, a minute. Grab a spatula. Nice things about prep is that it cooks very quickly. Just kind of waiting for the timer to hit 2. So I'm going to flip. While that's working, I just have a little lemon. Fun trick is if you roll any citrus, it will juice easier. If you have a really good juicer, you don't have to do that, but my juicer is dirty, and I don't really feel like cleaning it. Timer, and let's see how the vegetables turned out. You probably should use aluminum foil to line your baking sheet, but I have found that they never actually keep the baking sheet clean, so I've gotten lazy and don't do it as much. So, fish is done. I can turn off the burner. Do it on. And then just the vegetables. There will be leftovers here, just because good luck buying vegetables in portions for just one meal. It doesn't really work. And that'll do for now. And then grab a spoon over here. And this pesto I made yesterday, which is still very good. Just drizzle it on. Is this going to be the prettiest meal ever? No. But it's a weeknight and I'm feeling lazy. And it will do the job. And just for a little extra brightness, and because fish is always good with lemon. Or lime, actually. This kind of depends on what you're feeling. Paper towel because my hands are stinging. And there we go. You know, a simple dinner that chalks off, I'm gonna need to count, but a lot of what's on my good menu. See if you can top me.